you top 10 in your class?
Top 10%. Yeah, top 10%. I think, I don't remember what my exact rank was. I think it was 40 something, but out of like 500 something, almost 600. So yeah. I mean, the last thing I wanted to say for me growing up is that was like something I had to deal with was asthma my entire childhood. Thank God that he's delivering me from that now, but that was something that I had to deal with, going to the hospital a couple of times when I was younger and being on medications and having to leave recess to go to the nurse. And international business is my major. So
oh man, international business.
Yeah, certain things just fell through with my choices or certain decisions, so I ended up going to University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, which also has a soccer program, Division I, and I had an academic scholarship there as well, a good amount of money, so it's about taking care of about 90% of it.
So you a rapper?
Yeah.
Man, come on. Really?
Yeah, but I mean, rap and sing R&B, it's kind of just a mesh of that for sure. But
also, you rapping and singing?
Yeah. I always try to speak from my own experiences, and I'm a person that has I'm kind of opinionated. I'm not always telling people my opinions, but I'm opinionated. So from girls that I've talked to, been in a relationship with, friends, I will have conversations about relationships between men and women and just dynamics and certain things, and that kind of spills over into the music. Life itself is a blessing, just to be alive, just to be able to have family and have things to strive for. So I think that's where my faith has become rooted in, recently, obviously in the Lord, but then in the life he's blessed me with,
Man, I got a special guest today with me.
Yeah.
This guy, I've been knowing him for a while, almost 20 plus years
Yeah,
now.
20, almost 21 in December.
Yeah, almost 21 years. A very motivated young man, a bright young man, a talented young man, someone with a lot of faith that's overcome a lot of adversity, been through a lot in 20 years, but it shine like a diamond and continues to do great things. Man, I got my firstborn son with me today, Elijah, man. What's up, bro?
What's up? Thank you for the introduction.
You like that?
Yeah.
Hey, man, first off, I want to start out the show by saying, man, I'm so proud of you for the man that you become, and, being there and having a front row seat to your life, and, to see some of the challenges you've overcome and see some of the goals that you have accomplished. Man, it makes me really proud, man. So I salute you for being, a great son and a great young man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, man, normally when I have a guest on the show, I like to start off by kind of getting some background into, where my guest is from, or, I have them tell me a little bit about, how they grew up, and a little bit about yourself, growing up, and, where you from and all that.
All right. Well, I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, moved around a little bit, but from here, born in 2004, so I'll be 21 in December. And man, childhood was great. I was privileged to have, good things, and, of course, blessed with great parents, grandparents, and just a great family in general. So family's always been a big thing growing up, something that I appreciated. And played sports growing up, did theater, was involved with stuff like that in elementary school, music, just kind of did everything that I could. And I had a lot of fun as a kid. Once I was around 7 years old, I got my first sibling, and that was big for me because being an only child, I wanted siblings. And Milo was first, and then Isaiah, a couple months after, and then ever since then, now with Alana and Avery, I'm just super blessed to have them. So yeah, childhood was great.
That's cool, man. So you mentioned you played sports. What sports did you play?
So I played basketball and soccer as far as teams, but I played pretty much any sport. When I was younger, football was like my big dream. I wanted to be like you know, obviously my father. So football was a huge inspiration, something that I wanted to strive for. But even at that time, basketball was like a close second. You know, it was the first sport I was able to play on the team. So I really enjoyed that. And then eventually I switched over to soccer around middle school time. That was like, you know, what I was becoming more passionate about and putting my time into. So yeah, sports was a big thing for sure.
Man, and I can tell you having that front row seat, man, you were a great athlete, man. Still are.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And you know, it's crazy how, like you said, you started out, you did a little football, you know, did basketball, ran track.
Yep, forgot about that.
And man, it seemed like out of nowhere you just fell in love with a whole nother level to the soccer.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, that was always interesting to me because I never played soccer.
Yeah.
So you really turned me on to the you know, the sport of soccer. And man, I quickly became a big time fan watching you and even watching the game more and you know, professionally and everything to like get a respect for, man, how great those athletes are out there on that soccer field.
Yeah, very great athletes.
Yeah, man. And so you also mentioned you did a lot of other things, theater. I know I know you were in bilingual courses, even like when you were young in elementary school, man, you were in like, I guess you would say all Spanish speaking classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was in a Spanish program basically at my elementary school from kindergarten to 5th grade, even 6th and 7th while I was still in the Carrollton Farmers Branch School District. And yeah, it was mostly Spanish classes. I want to say some of the subjects were in English, like math was in English, I think all of elementary school. And then we had like an English reading class. But then Spanish, we had Spanish writing and reading class. And then our social studies was in Spanish. I'm pretty sure like most of my elementary school, like my history was in Spanish. So yeah, that's kind of how they separated it. And then once I got to middle school, they had other classes in Spanish. Like I took science in Spanish my 6th grade year, I think. 6th or 7th grade year. So they switched it up a little bit. But yeah, science in elementary school was always in English too. But it was definitely challenging. It took a lot of work and growing. And I was one of the few native English speakers in those classes because the area, there was a lot of Hispanics, and most of the people in this program, or most of the kids in this program, were native Spanish speakers. And their parents must have just put them in this program to make school a little bit easier at the time, or just so they could keep their Spanish up. And there was probably about 7 of us that were English was our first language. And in kindergarten, I think it was 2 or 3 black kids alongside me. But by the time we hit 1st grade, I was the only black kid in the program. You know, there wasn't very many black kids at the school. So yeah, it was something for sure. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I remember you being pretty much bilingual, you know, 11, 12 years old. I mean, speaking fluid Spanish and having that ability to be able to speak Spanish fluidly. Man, that's a huge asset.
Yeah, for sure.
And
in elementary school, I was in this gifted and talented program. That was with the school. I had to test for that, and then we started having projects and just like separate classes where I do that. So as far as that elementary school time, I think it was that. I was in spelling bees, like my Spanish spelling bee. I went to district for that. That was like 4th grade. I won my school's one and then went to district. So yeah, little stuff like that.
So that was cool. Now you went into middle school and you went an entrepreneur program, right?
Yep. Yeah. I don't think I really spoke on that, but after moving to Cedar Hill, you know, that was a transition, and then I got into, you know, different stuff here as well, stuff that they offered to Cedar Hill ISD.
Right. So you go from
Carrollton Farmers Branch School District to Cedar Hill ISD. Yep.
And how was that transition? Changing different part of town,
Yeah.
different school district. How was that?
It's an adjustment for sure. It was a dream because since I was younger, you take me to Cedar Hill football games, and that was like, something that was big for me as a kid. So finally be able to come here, I was excited. But it was an adjustment because I had a bunch of friends, at my old school. The way they did things, I was comfortable with and used to. The demographic, it was mostly Hispanic and white kids. It wasn't very many black kids. And then switching over to Cedar Hill ISD, it's all black kids, at least at the school I went to in Permitter. So that was an adjustment for sure. And it was tough at first, but I got comfortable and things began to smooth out for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you did great with the transition, man. We knew there was gonna be a lot of things that looked different, and but you transition, it seemed like like it was almost easy,
Yeah.
I do remember you weren't here too long before you got into a fight.
Oh yeah.
And I know that we had a conversation just talking about how it seemed like the kids will fight a lot at Permitter.
Yeah.
And so you had to, get you a little respect.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have no more problems after that, man.
Nah, it was much more like rough and just kids horse playing and wanting to test you at Permitter. It wasn't really like that at my other school. A little bit, but not nearly as much as Permitter. Yeah.
Yeah. But you continue to excel in your grades and everything, man, and all the way into high school.
Oh, so yeah.
Even in high school, you played basketball, you ran track, and played soccer.
Oh, yeah. High school was a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite, time for school. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, tell me a little bit about Cedar Hill High School, man.
Man, it was, it's crazy now. It's like 2 years ago, graduated 2 years ago, but I enjoyed it a lot. Going into freshman year, there was a 9th grade center, but I was able to go straight to the high school because I was in a program, early college program. So that was challenging, but I mean, we had a great dean, and she like supported us, and it was just a lot of like camaraderie. It was almost like a family. So there was a challenge, but we got good grades, and it taught us a lot. We had to dress up on Wednesdays in our attire, special attire. And yeah, soccer was like huge for me in high school. It was something that was on my mind often, going from JV my freshman year when I wanted to be on varsity to then being able to transition over to varsity and start and just have a big impact on the team. That was, it was great. And yeah, I mean, all of high school was good. Friendships that I made, lessons that I learned. It was just a good time for sure.
Yeah, and so you started on varsity as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So for 3 years, you were a 3-year letterman.
Yeah.
All district.
Yeah.
Man, had a great soccer career at Cedar Hill High School.
Yeah, I definitely did. It's funny now. I'll play basketball at Crawford, or I'll just be somewhere, and it'll be people in younger grades recognize me from soccer that didn't even play soccer, but I was one of the few black kids on the team, and then as far as skill level, I was one of the more notable ones, if not the only, so yeah.
Yeah, man. And so yeah, like you said, you were a student athlete all the way through. You were in advanced classes and early college academy.
Yeah.
And so, and you ended up, so you graduated in, was that 2023, right?
Yep, class of 23.
And you top 10 in your class?
Top 10%. Yeah, top 10%. I don't remember what my exact rank was. I think it was 40 something, but out of like 500 something, almost 600. So yeah. I mean, the last thing I wanted to say for me growing up is that was like something I had to deal with was asthma my entire childhood. Thank God that he's delivering me from that now, but that was something that I had to deal with going to the hospital a couple times when I was younger and being on medications and having to leave recess to go to the nurse. And that was like, when I was younger, I looked at it as a negative. Like, I really didn't like it. I wanted to ignore even having it, because I couldn't do certain activities, or I'd have to, stop doing the activities I wanted to do. So I was even a bit hard headed with it when I was younger too. Yeah, I would have asthma attacks in the middle of the night and couldn't get sleep. I used to hate that. And then when I was in ninth grade, I, had a major situation where I had to go to the ICU, and thank God that, I was blessed and he was able to keep me, because that worked out. And yeah, that was a big thing when I was growing up for sure, was having asthma.
Man, yeah. And, to think about all of the challenges that you had with it, including, like you said, the hospital visits and things like that. To see you out there on that soccer field
Yeah.
for 3 hours, I mean, running full speed, man, like you don't know how much it meant to me just to see you out there living your dream, and the fact that you didn't back down and you didn't give up on, your dream, your class.
Yeah.
And so now you're looking at college.
Yeah.
Man, tell me about that whole experience, man. Picking a college, going to college,
Yeah.
getting dropped off at college. Tell me a little bit about that experience, man.
It was an interesting experience. I've thought about it my entire life, wanting to be an athlete. Our goal is college and then the pros. So while other kids may not know if they want to go to college or what college they want to go to, I knew exactly what college I wanted to go to when I was like little. I wanted to go to TCU. So, once that time came around, that wasn't necessarily an option because I wanted to play sports. I wanted to play soccer in college. And man, that process was, it wasn't really stressful, but it was just a process that, we had to take on. And, I had a lot of help from you with club soccer and reaching out to coaches. So I had some opportunities to, go to certain schools, but, certain things just fell through with, my choices or certain decisions. So I ended up going to University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, which also has a soccer program, Division I. And I had an academic scholarship there as well, a good amount of money. So it's about taking care of about 90% of it. So it was a good choice. Edinburgh, Texas, so 8 to 8.5 hours from here, hour away from Mexico. It's like basically right there on the border. And man, I don't think I was nervous at all to go. I was excited. So, once I got dropped off, or even the trip down there, I stayed, I think we got an Airbnb, stayed for like 2 or 3 days, walked the campus like probably the day we got there or the day after. And I was just like excited to be in college. I was like, dang, like I'm ready to take over the school. Like I was excited. And then once I finally got dropped off, I immediately clicked with the athletes at my campus. The dorm I was staying in, a lot of track athletes were there. I connected with one of them before I even got to school through social media. So me and him were kicking it, and I even went to like one of their meetings. I probably wasn't even supposed to be there, but you a freshman, y'all all just hanging around. So I'm just, classes hadn't started. So I'm just rolling with them. And yeah, that first semester was something. It was fun though. A lot of fun. Second year, now you feel like kind of what to expect going into college. You have your little friend group, if they're coming back. So again, wasn't nervous, just coming in, looking to excel in school. That was the main thing. And my sophomore year, it was a lot that was different about it compared to freshman year. Actually, met new friends and still maintained the same friendships that I had my freshman year, but met more people, became friends with them. Our school was getting a football team, so it was a lot more black kids on campus, and then even some of the other like track started recruiting just more athletes, and all of them were black for the most part. So um, it was my sophomore year was good. I think with school it was a bit easier because I knew how to manage my time. And yeah, it sophomore year was a lot of fun. I don't think it was as hectic as my freshman year, but it was still a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, you got your car.
Oh,
Sophomore year.
yeah, I
You had
can't
you
believe
had the wheels, man.
that was like, yeah, it was. We called it the Pitmobile because of the way, the way it looked, like the old fashioned. Everybody liked my car. So yeah, it was a lot of fun for sure. And that was a big part in why it was so fun. Just having that car was like part of your independence.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So now we're going into junior year.
Yeah,
Man, wow, you upperclassman now, bro. How that feel?
it, it doesn't even
Don't
sound
feel right.
right. Yeah, because I feel like I just got into college and now I'm an upperclassman. I mean, it's an interesting feeling, but I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, I'm obviously taking on more responsibility with being an upperclassman, but there's still a lot of life ahead of me. And I just was like putting into perspective, I'm still young, and um, I say that to say like I still have opportunities to like um, to open up for myself and take on.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I'm looking forward, and I have to go after it. That's the one thing that I'm having to just work on and adjust to is chasing opportunities even away from like the field. Whether that's the job, making money, or on campus stuff, or just whatever. Like just being active with things that are gonna like push me forward past college once I'm graduated. So
Yes, sir. Man, I'm telling you, I told you that time will go fast.
yeah,
And freshman and sophomore year, uh, they don't go by as fast as junior and senior year. I'm
yeah,
just giving you the heads up, man. Now you on top of it, you the big man on campus now.
yeah,
Man, you got the wheels, you know where everything is at, you know what you're doing, you into your main coursework as far as towards your degree plan.
yeah.
Have you decided on your degree plan with
Oh yeah, international business is my major.
come
So
on, man. International business.
yeah,
Worldwide, huh?
yeah.
I like that. So what are some of the things what are some of the things that you're studying, some of the courses that you're studying when you're talking about international business?
So so far it's been obviously the just core curriculum coursework, and then some business courses as well. I took math for business, and um I took like an Excel class that teaches you how to use Excel. I took like a data analytics class. These are just classes that as a business major you have to take. Now getting more into the core stuff for my major. This upcoming semester I'm taking international business, just the class. I don't really know too many details about what I'm going to be doing, but I'll find out then. I'm going to be taking a marketing class. Um, and I forgot the other three classes that I'm taking, but they're all geared towards business. And then the international aspect is, I assume, just being able to work in different countries and just understanding the different rules and regulations in different countries, and just
Man,
stuff like that.
yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, now you're getting into the meat of it down that junior, senior year in your course where you got the electives and a lot of this stuff out the way.
yeah.
So, man, definitely got to be dialed in. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all got football now.
Oh yeah,
So you're going to be hitting them football games in the fall and doing it like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? While you having fun, just make sure you handling what you need to handle. You already know that.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah, man. And so let's say five, let's do, let's do 5 years.
Mm.
25-year-old Elijah.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing? What would you like to be doing?
Okay. 25-year-old self. Um, I at 25, that's about 3 years out of college. I honestly would say the one thing, and I feel like this is a big goal, but I don't want to have a home. Just like a home that started out would be a homeowner. Um, that's like financially probably like the biggest goal that I have thought about in my head is just owning a home at a young age. Um, being in my career, making good money, that's a goal. Um, and just yeah, I don't. It's crazy. I don't really think like I've never really thought like in 5 years what I want to do, but I have certain stuff that I'm like in my head. I know I want to chase after. Like I said, the home or like even now I'm doing music and like writing, songs, and I go to my friend's house and record like certain stuff, and friends that I've sent it to, they enjoy it and think I'm like good. So that's something that soon I'm gonna put out,
So
and that's
hold on,
one.
man. Hold on, man. You doing the music? So you're a rapper?
Yeah.
Man, come on. Really?
Yeah, but I mean, rap and sing R&B is kind of just a mesh of that for sure. But
Also, you rapping and singing.
yeah, Drake's my favorite artist, so I have to.
Hey, man, hey, I know you got that creative, gene in you.
Yeah,
And you always had a mouthpiece, man. You can, you very well spoken, man. You can definitely put your words together. So
yeah.
I can see it. So what's your rap name?
I genuinely don't have one. Like
Just Elijah.
no, it's not gonna be just Elijah. It could be, see, it could be my name, like Elijah Davis, but I feel like that's, no, I'm not gonna say that's boring. It could either be my name or something that's like just made up. Like I was talking to a friend and I was like, I think it was Frank Ocean is an artist. I think I might have brought up Brent Faiyaz, but like his name isn't Frank, or like it's not his name at all. It's
not
just, I think he made it from like, I want to say Frank Sinatra and some, I don't know, but he made it from just combining two different things. Part of me wants to do that because I'm like, I'm gonna be pursuing a career in business, and although like my content and my music isn't like just terrible content that I wouldn't want people to know it's me.
So you a gangster rapper? Or
Nah.
you
No, not at all.
okay.
I even went to the studio and my one of my other friends was there. And he was like, man, John told me you was gonna come in here and rap. And I was like, what you like gonna be talking about? Like, cause their rap, when they are in the studio, they talk about some different stuff. But I came in more on talking about life, relationships with women and just things like that,
Man, come
I
on.
listen to a lot of different genres, but mainly rap and R&B, and kind of study how artists just express themselves in their own experiences. I do the same thing with my music, and I feel like for me, I try to keep it authentic. There's even certain artists that I feel like on a smaller level, they kind of like say cliche stuff and just say, but I always try to speak from my own experiences, and I'm a person that has like, I'm kind of opinionated. I'm not always telling people my opinions, but I'm opinionated. So from girls that I've talked to, been in a relationship with, friends, I will have conversations about relationships between men and women and just dynamics and certain things, and that kind of spills over into the music. My feelings, like if I'm talking to a girl and she do something I don't like, whatever it is, that might come out into the music.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it's surface level, but then sometimes it's more in depth emotions and feelings that you can only really tap into like from a relationship with a woman. You like sides of yourself or women that you may not have known was even there. Your eyes become opened up to it from that, and I think that's why at this time I've always written and done stuff like that, But I think that's why it's become a big topic in my music. Because when you're younger, you don't know anything, you know, like you don't. So once you get exposed to certain stuff, it's like it has an impact on your mind, you know. So it's yeah. When writing music, it's like that's what I'm talking about. Things I learn, things I feel and am affected by. Yeah,
Man, I like that, man. And you know the thing about it is when you're a creator and you can put your life down on paper and you know sing about it or rap about it, it to a certain extent it's a little bit of therapy in it.
100%.
You
Yeah,
getting it off, you know, you getting that off of your heart and your mind, and you putting it out there. And you know, sometimes you know just saying it and speaking about it or sharing whatever it is that you got going on, it can make you feel maybe better about it, or just you know, I don't know how to really explain it, but it is like a therapy,
yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And that's cool, man. So okay, man, I bro, you on the music?
Yeah,
I feel that. Uh, so yeah, and with the ladies, man, I know I can remember I had a saying, you know, that I used to tell you all the time.
yeah,
You know, uh, don't want who you want who wants you.
yeah,
You know, there's a lot of young men that are, you know, chasing the wind in some of the women that they're chasing after, you know, and
yeah,
that's valuable time and energy that's being wasted when as a young man you should be focused on building yourself, building your life, finding your purpose, you know, and you know, at the end of the day, that can be a distraction.
yeah,
But you know, being a goal oriented person like you have been, I always wanted to talk to you and just give you game. I always saw that you had to focus, man, to where you were gonna handle your business and everything else was gonna be, you know, was gonna be secondary. And so, you know, I'll say this even, you know, we talking about where you see yourself in 5 years, and you know, a 25-year-old man. You know, at the end of the day, at 25, you are still super young,
yeah,
right? And you know, at the end of the day, you're still, if you got a house and you in your career at 25, man, you didn't knock it out the park.
yeah,
Cause I can tell you, your daddy, I didn't have it all together at 25. I didn't have that house. Now you will. But what I'm just saying is the way, even when I ask you that question and you say I never thought about it, you had a good answer.
yeah,
You know, to be in your career and to be a homeowner. I mean, home ownership, in my opinion, is one of the foundations to wealth
yeah,
and building it. And so, you know, you're gonna be so far ahead of the game as a young homeowner that you know it's gonna be you're gonna be able to have a foundation to do whatever you want to do at 25. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, and that's definitely something that is attainable, right?
yeah,
And the key is the second part when you say be in your career. The key is having a job or being in a career and earning.
yeah,
Let's just say that. And so, you know, as a young man, a college graduate, you know, that next step is, you know, finding, you know, a career path and finding employment or starting that business or doing whatever it is that puts you in a place to where now you got income coming in
yeah,
because everything costs, man. You know,
yeah,
the great thing about college is that you know when you're in college, you grown, man. You're on your own. You're doing your own thing, but you're not necessarily having to pay a mortgage every month.
yeah.
You know, pay a car note every
You're
month.
still dependent. Me
Yeah.
and my friend were just talking about that. Like, we're adults, but we're still so dependent on our parents, you know, for a lot. So,
Hey, man, but y'all doing a great job. You know, and so, but I'm gonna tell you, these next couple of years gonna fly by so quick. You ain't gonna be a dependent too much longer, man.
yeah,
It's gonna come quick, fast, and in a hurry, and you're gonna be uh, you know, then walked across the stage. You're gonna be done with UTRGV, and you know what next is gonna be the question.
yeah,
And so, But anyways, man, that's exciting, man. I know we don't have to rush past these next 2 years because like I said, you still got to finish out your college, but you definitely want to be already focused on, hey, once I finish this is what I want to get into next because it happens so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think about for me, I wish I would have had more things lined up post graduation, right? Because when you go into college, the goal is to get that piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
And then you get it, and it's like, I got it. This is awesome. This is great, man. We did it. This is just the beginning now.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go earn. You know what I mean? And go make a living. And so it's all preparation, man. And what is the importance of faith?
Faith is, I mean, yeah, it's very important. I've always had faith my entire life, just being an optimistic person and somebody who's seen faith in other people. By example, you, my mother, grandparents. But I understood it more once I left the house, I want to say. Because now, like, I feel more in control of my destiny, and sometimes things look like they may not be going in your favor, or certain things don't work out the way you want them to. And faith, your relationship with God, is super important in those moments, and it's going to continue to be important because that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you looking to achieve, and then just appreciating life. That was a big thing that did when I started out school. I had a friend in college that unfortunately passed away, and then came back home, and then over Christmas break, it was somebody that I went to high school with that I wasn't a close friend with, but other people were. He passed away, like, I think it was a month later, like the same day or same date a month later. And seeing that life wasn't promised for people at that time was crazy, because I don't think I saw any like of my peers pass before that. So for it to be, them, and then I think it might have been starting my sophomore year, another person passed away, somebody I was cordial with, and one of my closest friends, he was real tight with him. He passed away from an asthma attack. So things like that was when faith for me was like really important, because I had my own battles with asthma and my own just scary situation, and it was just crazy to know some of these people personally, know their goals and certain things that they wanted to achieve, and seeing them not be able to do that, it made certain things just look like unfair.
Yeah.
And faith is like fighting through unfairness, understanding like, yeah, life's not fair, things don't work out in your favor, you're not going to get everything you want, but life itself is a blessing, just to be alive, just to be able to have family and have things to strive for. So I think that's where my faith has become rooted in, like, recently, obviously in the Lord, but then in the life he's blessed me with.
Yeah, man, faith is everything to me. And so what about the opposite of faith, man? Fear. How do you deal with fear?
Fear, I mean, I think that it's the opposite. At that time that I spoke of, it went hand in hand with it. I don't think I'm a fearful person, but seeing stuff like that was for sure fearful, or and just in general. And yeah, faith was the only way to combat it. I think fear, it can be good in, I guess, some areas. Oh, you're afraid to touch like the hot stove because but that's more wisdom.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, spirit of fear is not from God, and it's definitely, it holds people back. It holds people, I think, a lot of anxiety and just depression. A lot of it can come from fear.
Yeah.
you know, for whatever reason, whatever somebody's afraid of. And yeah, I had to learn that, like, being afraid, you can't feed into fear,
Yeah,
if you have something that you're saying, okay, I'm not going to do this, because associated with wisdom, not fear,
yeah,
like, oh, I'm not going to uh, jump out of a plane because I'm afraid. Don't say that. Just say, because I don't do that, or I don't think it's wise to do. Don't feed in the thoughts of fear, because that cripples people. And it can cripple you from things that the Lord has for you.
right.
So yeah, I think that fear is definitely not a good thing.
Yeah, we all in one way or another experience fear,
Yeah.
and it's up to us how we respond to it. And my thing is, you can be scared, but do it scared.
Yeah.
Don't let that fear stop you from doing what you want to do, what's
Yeah.
on your heart to do, or what's the right thing to do. Just do it scared.
That's a great uh like phrase though. Do it scared. I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind, for sure, because it's short and simple, but it's powerful.
Do it scared, man.
Yeah.
Do it. You know what I mean? Just do it like Nike, huh?
I had a coach that he had a small saying as well. He would say, "Love the grind,"
Yeah.
and that was like super impactful. So to do it scared was similar, because yeah, he would tell me, "Love the grind," and eventually it just became something that I remembered. And as I'd work out, or things would, I'd be hurt or just whatever, I would just think, man, let it go, like, enjoy the pain, of doing whatever is uh gonna help push you, forward. So yeah,
Yeah,
do it
man.
scared.
Yes, sir. And that's preparation, man. He's talking to you about preparing.
Yeah,
And no matter what you do, even with the music, even with this podcast, it's work.
yeah,
You know what I mean? People can see sometimes the finished product and be like, "Oh man, that's cool to play professional soccer."
yeah.
But the amount of preparation that has been put into it, a lot of people have no idea, and they wouldn't want no parts
Yeah,
to the amount of work that it takes. You know,
yeah.
and so, man, this has been a good talk, son. Man, like I told you when we started, man, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing great things, man. Keep going, keep on pushing. Don't let nothing steal your joy. Don't let nothing steal your vision and your goals for your future, because your future is bright. Understand there will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be trials, and it's all part of your story.
Yeah,
It's all part of the plan that God has for you. Because one thing about trials and failures and things that don't work out, they end up building character in you when you overcome it, right? When you don't get into a place to where now you are depressed and you feel like your life is over because something didn't work out. Instead, you shake it off, get up, and get back after it and keep pushing. It does something to you. And also, the battle scars that you gain from your obstacles, from your trials, that's your testimony. And your testimony is powerful. And your testimony is what draws people to you as well.
yeah,
You can overcome it. And when you do, you'll have stripes from it. And those stripes build who you are. They build your character. They build your reputation, right? Because nobody's going to follow or respect somebody that's never been through anything, right?
True.
So you take the wins and the losses with pride. Keep your head high always, man. Win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? You be that player that, you know what I mean, holds his head up, walk across the field, shake the other team hand, and move on knowing that you a man and you did the best you could. And at the end of the day, it didn't work out. But it's not over, right?
Yeah,
These are life lessons, man. You know what I'm saying? Be a man of your word, right? If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you don't know if you can do it or not, don't say that you will. Make your word your bond. Love yourself. When you're getting in this world, man, and you grinding and you taking care of your business and you paying bills and you taking care of your family and doing all these things, man. I know the mentality that we have as men, and we get to a place to where, you know what, we want to make sure everything around us is solid and straight. All the people around us are solid and good. And sometimes we forget that, man, we need to make sure that we good, right?
Yeah.
Man, make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you are taking care of yourself no matter what you're doing, man, because you are important, right?
Yeah.
And your well-being is important. And nobody's going to take care of you better than you can take care of you, right? So
Yeah.
treat yourself good, man. You're a hell of a prize, but don't look for a woman to treat you good. Treat yourself good. Don't look for a friend to pat you on the back for your accomplishment, or you know, for people to fill a void that you have within yourself. Man, you got a relationship with God, and you got confidence and belief in yourself. Man, the world is yours, bro. And most importantly, keep God first in your life, man. Just know always that God is with you, and He'll never leave you or forsake you. So you keep your faith in God. Number one is the foundation. And man, that's what I want you to know. And I love you.
No, you
And
too.
I you know what I'm saying? I'm here, you know, I'm 10 toes down with you to the world end. But I can tell you this, man, the Heavenly Father, you know what I mean, He gonna be with you even in places and moments and times where I won't be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's important for you also, you know what I mean, to share that testimony and your testimony with the people that know, you know, the people that you meet and people that you know. Because
Yeah.
man, your testimony is, man, it's powerful, man, and it's inspiring. And when I think about the amount of kids out there that have asthma, man, to know your story is to know that, man, you know what, asthma don't have to stop me from being an
Yeah.
athlete,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, son, yeah, it's been a great conversation, man. Uh, I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to excel. Good luck in your junior year.
Thank you.
And man, you know what? We'll have to do this again.
For sure. I was just thinking that next time I come back, I'm gonna have more to, talk about. The music might be doing something, so I have to talk about that. We'll see. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to another opportunity to come on the podcast.
For sure. All right, man. Well, until the next time, peace.